Right now it is February, but it is extremely hot out right now. I think it's like 80 degrees today. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nadia, and today we're going to be talking about the differences between New York and LA. I just recently moved to LA in September, and so I thought it would be fun to talk about the differences between the two cities while I drive to work. I was in New York for about 5 years before I came out to LA, and so I've been missing New York a little bit and just really comparing the two cities, and I thought I would just talk to you guys about the differences. If you're considering New York or LA, which city do you want to move to? This video is going to be a little bit entertainment industry focused, just because that is the industry that I work in, and that was definitely one of the main factors that made me choose between New York and LA, so we are going to be talking about that. But yeah, let's get started.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
So one of the main differences is the transportation, and that's probably just one of the biggest things to me that really sticks out, which is why I wanted to record this video while I drive to work. When I was in New York, I took public transportation all the time. I loved to walk. I was just a big fan of not having a car.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
You can get around without a car in LA, but you are really limited if you do not have a car. It's very important if you have a car in the entertainment industry too, because you're going to be starting out as a PA or an assistant, and they're going to ask you to go on runs. And actually, to be honest with you, one of the questions that I'm asked a lot on interviews is if I have a car and am I able to go out on runs. And it's also very important if you are someone who does freelance work and you're going to be going to many different locations, and you cannot rely on the public transportation here. I have taken the bus and I do walk around, but honestly, I have to drive to get to the grocery store and things like that. I hate driving. I'm not good at driving. I'm still very new to driving. But I'm very lucky because my commute to work is only about like 10-15 minutes, and I'm just very thankful for that. LA is also a lot more spread out than New York. New York is very crowded.
God, it's so crowded. How could there be so many people?
But LA is just, everything is very far, and the distance really limits you on where you can go. A lot of times I want to go somewhere with my friends, but then it just takes an hour to get there, and then there won't be any parking when I get there. I don't want to, you know, have to search for parking when I'm there, or not be able to find parking, or pay for parking. That's like a standard thing in LA, is paying for parking, and I'm just not used to that.
Want to practice parking?
What's the point? Everywhere you go has valet.
Another one of the biggest differences is the weather. Right now it is February, but it is extremely hot out right now. I think it's like 80 degrees today, and that's something I've never really experienced before. I've been to LA in summer, and I've done summer internships in LA, but I never really spent a significant amount of time here in the winter. You know, LA really does win for the weather. Ow! It's beautiful all the time. You can do a lot more outdoor activities. However, seasons aren't bad. I love when the leaves change for fall. It's so beautiful. So if you are someone who really likes seasons, New York is better. Now, of course, LA and New York, they are both very big cities, so there is plenty to do in either city. In New York, there's a bunch of museums. I love doing that. And in LA, there's a bunch of museums. There's plenty of restaurants, plenty of clubs, plenty of bars. There's something for everyone in both cities. Although one of the things that I would say that LA has that New York definitely does not is places to do outdoor activities. New York does have Coney Island, but it's not nearly as nice as the beaches in Los Angeles, and there's just so much more to do in Los Angeles that's outside. And that has been my favorite part about LA, is having access to all these sort of outdoor activities and the weather, and being able to do these sort of things all year long. Both cities are very expensive.
Spare change, ma'am.
Maybe LA is a little bit cheaper, but to be honest, they're both extremely expensive, and they're very expensive to live in. Paying for parking, rent, you know, food, just everything tends to be more expensive in cities in general. And so that's definitely true for both New York and LA. I will not say moving to LA has just been a money saver at all. It has not been.
I declare bankruptcy!
The main difference for me and the thing that got me to move out to LA were the job opportunities. Now, this all comes down to what you want to do and what you're passionate about and what you're interested in. But for me, LA made more sense, and that's why I came out here. New York and LA have a lot of job opportunities when it comes to the entertainment industry. However, they are a little bit different. New York I found to be a little bit more corporate or focused on marketing, focused on late night television, focused on theater, focused on the news, but that wasn't exactly what I was really passionate about.
I hate this job. I hate this goddamn job and I don't need it.
I really loved narrative content, and for me, I really wanted to go into development or see production and that side of things, the more creative side. And there were a lot more jobs like that in LA rather than in New York. And I did have a harder time finding a job that I really loved in New York compared to LA. When I came out to LA, there were all these jobs that I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for me. There were a few jobs that I really, really loved in New York. However, the competition was a lot higher just because there were fewer of those jobs in New York compared to LA, where there's a lot more of those jobs. So it wasn't as competitive, as weird as that seems. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're quitting your job to move to LA, you're not going to be able to find a job. It's very, very hard.
No one will hire you.
And I was prepared for it to be very, very hard. However, I got really, really lucky and found a job that I really, really loved pretty quickly in LA within the first month. So that has been the best thing about LA for me, besides the weather and being able to go out on hikes. I love doing that. But the best thing has just been the job opportunities. It has made just so much more sense to be here. All these jobs were available in the thing that I wanted to do, so I was able to get it, versus being in a place where there aren't a lot of job opportunities in that industry.
If I really want this acting thing to work, I need to focus all my energy on it.
So just to wrap up this video, it really comes down to what city do you think is right for you. There's pros and cons to each city. If you're someone who really likes seasons, great, then go to New York. If you're someone who prefers it to be warm all year long, then go to LA. You know, it's really just comes down to what is the better fit for you. Now, of course, there are stereotypes about each city. People are like, oh, people in LA are more chill, and these are all just stereotypes, and don't let that affect you choosing one city over the other, because that's not going to define who you are. There's different personalities in every single city. You are your own person, and you can find your group of friends in either kind of city. I promise you, there is every single type of person in either city. It just takes a little bit of time to make new friends in a new city, but you can do it. So that wraps up the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit different. I'm sorry if I was focused on the road a lot of the time, but I hope you got something out of it. If you are considering both cities or just found this interesting, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you know anyone who's considering living in New York or considering living in LA. Also, I recommend, if you are moving from LA to New York or New York to LA, do a road trip. I did a road trip and I loved it so much. So I really highly recommend that if you have the time, if you're moving across the country for something, do a road trip, or just do a road trip in general. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.